Hi, this is Naomi with Sword and Steel. Thank you for joining me and painting. Today I'm going to be showing you how I painted Valkia the Bloody, the most bloodthirsty woman, now Daemon Princess, I have ever known. Alright, so we're keeping her pieces separate, mostly because we are going to prime them different colors. This is going to be primed gloss black, but these guys, all of these guys are going to be primed in Ivory primer. So here we're priming her body and the shield all in gloss black, as well as her spear. Gloss black primer by Vallejo. Then we're going to cover that gloss back, only partially, in this downward position, with chrome. Then we're going to be daring and add a mix of airbrush thinner and blood for the blood god into the airbrush and create a very, very nice metallic red look on the model. I can't suggest this to anyone unless you really, really know how to clean your airbrush in case of clogs, because this is probably going to clog. Oh yeah, and chrome on the blade. And here we're going to be priming in the ivory the wings, the head, and the shield's two horns as well. Alright, now that all of the airbrushing is done, everything is dry and solid, we can go on to the paintbrush painting aspect of it. The very first thing I'm doing is using Gryph-Hound orange on the middle of each of the wings, one wing at a time, because you need to really paint it up while it's wet. So Gryph-Hound orange to start off with, and then we're going to use Blood Angel's red. I'm not blending it yet, I want to get all the colors down first, while everything is still fresh. And then I'll blend it all at once. So now I'm adding some Fyreslayer's flesh. And cleaning up the pooling. This wing has a lot of texture, so I don't actually need a lot of any of the colors for it to really come out. I have to really pay attention to what you're doing here so that it doesn't pool in ways that you don't want it to. Now the look I'm trying to achieve is in the center, it's going to be a bit more see-through. I don't think this is quite dark enough. Wyldwood. Time to go to Wyldwood. Wyldwood mixed with Fyreslayer's flesh. And the red. Yes, I'll be using this on each side of both wings, exactly the same as this one. And then I won't touch it until it dries. Alright, wings done. Oh my goodness, the gore. Let's have a closer look at her now, shall we? Wings are still wet. Have to monitor for pools, but looking good. Now we'll deal with their horns. Yes. Or should we do the face first? Horns. Horns first. Yeah, both of their horns. The Slanesh shield and her horns. So her horns are going to be some sort of dark brown. I guess his, to make them a bit different, will be a brown I don't want, if I do them too light, it'll draw attention away from her, so we'll make them darker for him too. Or, you know what? Yeah, let's make them glossy black. Glossy black horns are always cool, but she'll be more dark brown horns. So, and then I'm going to put a little bit of the primer on her head where I accidentally spilled some of the contrast paint on. Let that dry. Maybe while that's drying I can start on the silver work of her armor. She's going to have nice pretty silver work. The teeniest tiniest silver work. Okay, Black Templar. And I guess I'll do it on all of her little wing horns too. What are these called? Claws? Wings of their... Claws on her wings. Fingernails. Wingnails. There's definitely an actual name for bats. Claws. Winged claws. Claw wings. Now I've got to know. So I can properly call these by their name. Alright, Black Templar and now Wyldwood on hers. I'm still actually using this same #1 Broken Toad brush because the point comes so works so well that I don't need to. I don't need to go any further down. For liquid paint like this, one that goes off the brush really easily. Yeah, I'm happy with that color actually. I'm going to show you that. She's so small, I imagine I need to bring it up. Great texture on the miniature. That was super easy. Now, her face is a very tiny face. Very, very tiny face. And I think, because who doesn't like fine cast, I think there might be some flaws in that face that aren't so visible when it's monocolor, but will be visible when I put a color over it. We're gonna find out. I think there are some flaws. I think she has a hole in her nose. Gonna find out. Okay. Now, I need to wait for the primer to dry. So in the meantime, I can figure out, she has hooves. She's like a satyr. She has little hooves. I think I'm gonna do Black Templar and make them shiny black too. I might change it up to a brown, like a light color brown, to emphasize that she has hooves. But since she's standing on flaming skulls, like really she's burning the ground underneath her, I think the black would show off, would show better than light brown because of all the oranges and reds that are going to be in there. I am going to put primer on her skin though. She's got skin right skin, well, whatever it is right here. I guess it's fur. It's gonna be barely visible because of all that flame though. So I'll just give it a single primer coating and maybe put some sort of, I don't even know yet. We'll worry about that later. Okay. Wow, her legs are tall. I actually see a little exposed part right here too. Oh yes, in her hand. Straight arrow. Her little hand that was holding on has to have some primer on it too. Alright, now I'm going to try the 3/0 Broken Toad brush. See how I like it for tiny details. I'm using Chrome Metal Color Air. I'm using an airbrush paint here because they're easiest to go on with little effort, which is good for details like this. Alright, so this was great at picking up, well, this bigger one was great at picking up a lot of paint and keeping to a point and allowing me to control it. Let's see. Do you see me? Yeah. This stuff. This is very liquidy paint, so you do want to be careful not to have a lot on your brush. If I make a mistake, I should be able to put my mix over top to fix it. Yeah, that does work. Alright, well, I'm gonna get all the details, and it's gonna be basically the same as exactly what I'm doing, just deciding on where the silver goes. There's the chrome done. On her. It's all been dried. And I did go back with my little Blood for the Blood God and Airbrush Thinner mix and fix up any mistakes, and that worked great. Now, the next thing to work on is Valkia's flesh, but I want the skin tone to be white and pale and skin tone and purple all at the same time. So I'm going Gilliman Flesh, Apothecary White, Shaiish purple and Magos purple. Whoop. I think Magos purple plus Gilliman flesh might do it. I guess I could continue with my number one. It's been doing well, but I just have to be very careful. I don't want to overdo it. Alright. Let's do it. Not overdo the eyes. As I thought, there's an error on this model where her nose is actually has a hole in the center. But I'm not deterred because it's so small that I should be able to put my highlight paint should fill that up just fine. Or Citadel Vallejo putty. There should be some nice shadows around the horn area. And let's get the back of her. Going to leave it like that to dry before we go back. And her little hand. Right, now Nuln Oil Gloss. We want to get the Nuln Oil Gloss over her little bat wing. I want Nuln Oil Gloss over him. Alright, and now, very carefully, we're going to put Nuln Oil Gloss over the chrome. And since it's a gloss, I can also put it over the red metal and it won't get hurt. So if I want to do a bit more shadow in places, I can use the Nuln Oil Gloss to do it. Her head is dry now, which means now I can go in and give her some more shading very carefully. Okay, now that the shadows are in place, time for the highlight, which is gonna have to be something opaque. Actually, I think I'll use the colors I have. Now, it's gonna need to be a little bit more red. So, primer. My Ivory primer. Plus the Magos purple and a little bit of the Blood Angels red. Cheek. Cheek. Nose. Forehead. Alright, and let's go really in there. Right underneath her eyes. Oh my goodness. Let's go Shaiish purple, Flesh Tears red, might as well go with my favorite color red for her lips. And hey, we can always change them. It's not like they're only 2 millimeters in diameter, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Are you ready to mess up the miniature? Heck yes. Let's mess up this miniature. Right, what does that look like? That looks like I got her chin, not her lips. Okay, that didn't work. Let's take that off. Fixed. Alright, let's try that again. As one would expect, you just can't put on makeup upside down. We can do it. I mean, she's a messy eater. That's all there is to it. All right. Now we just gotta clean her teeth. She hasn't cleaned her teeth in a couple millennia. Teeth. Not white. The ivory might work. Let's see. Ivory with we'll just try ivory. Really transparent ivory. All right. She's got fang-like teeth. I don't know if it's an improvement. Can't worry about the face anymore. Not right now, anyway. have to come back to it with fresh eyes. I think now that the black Nuln Oil is dry, I'm just touching with the chrome again. Here and there. Gore Grunter Fur. Yeah, that is the color, so that. And just doing it all over. So, we got Parasite Brown, Bronze Flesh Tone, and Bone White. A little bit arbitrarily covered with the Parasite Brown, is while the brown underneath is still wet. Now the Bronze Flesh Tone has to go on top of the orange that you just put down. On top of that will be the Bone White. And now it's airbrush time, with some thinned down Fyreslayer orange. We're going to just gently, oh so gently, apply that to just the skulls and fire. And after that's done, I'm going to add my banana yellow, just to lighten it up a bit more. The yellow isn't really staying yellow, but moves the orange towards where I want it to be before I add the orange back over again, gently and just a bit. And then I use my banana yellow to dot the orange in places. And then I use a brown wash to cover some of the skulls up. And then I use my orange wash, which was Gryph-Hound Orange contrast paint, here and there, make it more fiery. Then I use the primer to dot random areas to add to that fiery effect. I also add chrome back in areas that were lost in the flames. There she is, as she currently is, just missing a hand. I use Flesh Tear's Red to cover up each of her scars. Alright, so I added her blade. She finally is holding her blade now. And I also added a base. Let's see, the brown rim is using Beastie Brown, and the texture is Vallejo Brown Earth, along with some Citadel skulls, since she's standing on some flaming skulls. Added some more skulls. And added some, this is mortar from the garage. It had broken off. I cleaned it up. It was very useful. I played around with her face again until I was more satisfied with it, just in the same colors I'd previously used. And then I added white to his eyes, because even though I want him to be more muted than she is, so he doesn't take away from her, I am going to add some purple to his eyes and do something now with her weapon. Oh yes, I also primed her weapon with my primer where the skull and the horns are, so that it can be a different color. Okay, so first off, to bring this together with the base, I am going to grab my number 1 and add, the base is quite red, so I'm just going to add some, where is it? Here, Wyldwood. Wyldwood, yes. Down. Here and there to bring that base closer together. With the model itself. I've still got my beastie brown to kind of blend that a little better. Now, since she's clearly coming this way, let's see. I'm thinking she bounced over some flaming skulls. She either bounced over flaming skulls, or she's creating the fire that caused these skulls to inflame. Have to decide that. Because if she's just, you know, stepping over flaming skulls because she doesn't care that they're aflame, then I guess the fire is just in this area where the skulls were lit to light someone's way. Or I could give the trail of her burning things on the way. Like that. And again, just use some beastie brown to fix up the look. They just came from a bunch of skulls that I had pre-painted to add to bases, actually. They were Grey Seer and then Skeletal Horde after that. And I like to add them to bases that fit. I think that fits. Okay. Now we're going to get his eyes, and I think I'm actually going to cover him entirely with purple. His eyes will show the brightest because it has primer on it, but the rest will be slightly purple. This is Eidolon Purple Clear. Okay, let's try it. Right. I mean, it did do what I asked it to, but that's not exactly what I was going for. Just make this tiny bit more purple. You can barely tell because he's so dark, but now he's mildly purple dark. Alright. We're gonna need something different. Alright, I just mixed the clear purple with the primer and added that to the tongue and eyes. Her spear. She is Valkia the Bloody. She can't have a super clean spear, but before that we need Skeletal Horde. The skull's right here. No, I think it should be darker. That metal. Let's darken it up with some Nuln Oil Gloss. Alright. Darker. Don't want it to pool, so take away unneeded pooling. And game effects Dried Blood by Vallejo. Yeah, they're pretty thick. So we're gonna have dried blood, and we're gonna have fresh blood, and, you know, sure she got some up there at some point. Go. That's the dried blood. And now fresh blood. My little mix has a tiny bit at the bottoms, which is mostly the unmixed blood for the blood god. Waste not. We'll leave it on there for now. Okay. I would like to do a blood splatter, like have her completely covered in, but she's such a small miniature that it might take away. On the other hand, I could do it on her wings. Make that super fresh. Bloody fingers. You know she like grabbed someone at some point with her hand, so she's gonna have bloody fingers too. Blood coming down her arm. Maybe a little speck of blood here. She changed it up a little bit. He got in there too. Enjoyed himself afterwards. Let's just add a little bit of primer to those eyes. And highlight his tongue a bit. Yeah. Think we can call her done. There she is in all of her glory. There are a couple hiccups along the way, but I'm very happy with how she turned out. In the end, you can find all of what I used to paint her in the description below. I can't say I like using fine cast models, but she does look fine. I hope this was useful to you and you enjoyed yourself. Thanks for watching.